Hello everyone. Today we are going to take your Excel game to the next level. Forget about the mouse, we are diving into the world of Excel shortcuts that will transform you into a true powerhouse. By the end of this video, you will be navigating through the spreadsheets faster than ever before. So let's get started. On the screen, I have created a basic data set. In this data set, I have jumbled the numbers the way I wanted. And as you can see on the screen, the numbers are not looking right. The formatting is not looking right. And that's what we are here for. So the very first shortcut, how do you resize your columns? To do that, I'm going to select everything. The first shortcut is Control A. Once I've selected everything, what I need to do, I have to press Alt H O I. It will auto fit all my columns. As you can see, the columns are nicely formatted and fitted to the size of the cells. But what about the rows? I want to fit the rows. I want to resize my rows based on the data. To do that, what I'm going to do, I'll be selecting one more shortcut, that is Alt H O A. Voila, you will be able to see all the rows are nicely fitted now. That's just like a magic. Now let's talk about other shortcuts. Without even using mouse, how do you select the cells as per your preference? So the very first shortcut is to go to the extreme right of the Excel. Select Control right button on your keyboard and you are to the rightmost cell in your spreadsheet. If you do the same thing, Control down arrow, you will be at the last cell of your spreadsheet. If you do this again with the left arrow, you will be at the very first cell in your spreadsheet of your on the left hand side. And let's do this one more time. Control up arrow and you are back to the main cell, to the topmost cell. Now let's talk about how do we want to select the cells. To select these cells, what we can do, we can use another shortcut, Control Shift and right arrow. As you can see, all the data towards the right is now selected. If I do the same thing, Control Shift down arrow, all the data from the starting point till the end cell is selected. If I do this activity again, Control Shift left arrow, all the data from the right to left is selected now. And let's do this one more time. Control Shift up arrow. Everything from bottom to up is selected now. What about I want to select everything? Control A, that is what we have done in the beginning. There is one more thing. Control Shift right arrow and press down key. And voila, you are able to see select everything in your Excel spreadsheet. Let's look at one more column, one more shortcut, that is Control T. If I want to format my table data as a table, you can simply press Control T and your table will become an actual formatted table in the Excel spreadsheet. Now let's talk about few more other shortcuts. So the very first shortcuts I'm going to talk about is selecting a row. To select a row, what we need to do, we have to press shift button, and then we have to press space bar. A row is selected. If I do the same but with the control key, control and space bar, I am able to select the entire column. That's just like a magic. So now let's try to use this functionality in a next level. So if I want to add one more row, I will select shift space and I'll say shift control plus. As you can see, a new row is added. If I want to remove this blank row, what I need to do, I have to select the row first and then I have to do control minus to delete the row. That is just adding and deleting a row. What if I want to add a column and I want to remove a column? Do the same thing, select the column by pressing Control space that we have learned in the past. Do Control Shift plus to add the column. A column 1 is added because this is a formatted table. And now if I want to remove this column, I have to select the column again by using Control space and then Control minus. The column is gone. Let's talk about how to navigate to the last cell in our Excel spreadsheet without going through all the uh, mouse or navigation items. You can simply go in your keyboard and say Control End and it will take me to the last cell of my Excel spreadsheet. If I do this activity again with Control Home, it takes me to the very first cell in my Excel spreadsheet. Let's try to apply some filters on my Excel spreadsheet. How to do that? There are two ways. I'm going to tell you the easiest one first. So first you have to press Control, Shift and L key. Simply a filter is applied on your all the Excel columns. Now there are two ways to navigate to these drop downs. Firstly, you can use your mouse. You can navigate through the values, but we are not using the mouse in this tutorial. So to navigate through this drop down, what we can do, we can simply press Alt and down arrow. And you can see by using the down arrow keys, we can navigate to the values. All the regions we can select. Now, if you want to select a specific value, remove select all by pressing the space bar in your keyboard and select the specific value by selecting the space bar again and hit enter. All the values will be filtered. Now to remove this filter from your table, what we have to do, we have to use the same command, Control Shift L. All the filters from your file will be removed. As I mentioned, there are two ways to apply a filter. The another way is use a command Alt T F F and the filter is applied again on your Excel spreadsheet. You can do the same activity by doing Alt down arrow, press the space bar to remove select all, press the space bar again to select keys, and there you go, all the values are applied. What if I want to navigate to the next sheet? To navigate to the next sheet without clicking of a mouse, you can hold your control key, you can click on page down button and we are navigating to the next sheet. Let's do this one more time and we are at the last sheet. You can take a screenshot of this entire Excel and keep it with yourself. It will give you all the superpowers in your office or your day-to-day lives to work with your Excel like a wizard. Now to navigate back to the home sheet, what we can do, we can press Control and we can press page up. Once we press page up, we are back to the main screen. Now let's talk about some other functionalities. So let's suppose I want to copy this data. I've copied this by clicking Ctrl plus C. There are two ways to duplicate this data in the Excel spreadsheet. First way is by using the shortcut Ctrl plus V and I've copied my data. The other way is, let's copy this data again. The other way is, the other shortcut is, we can simply press enter and your data will be pasted. The third way of copying data and pasting it into the next rows is by doing Control D. Control D looks for the immediate parent, immediate top row and copies the values from there. For example, if I select this entire row and if I press Control D, the entire data is copied from the top row. So that's how you can navigate through the Excel without even touching your mouse for once. Let's give this file a quick save by using another shortcut, Control S. Once we save the file, we are good to go. But how do I close it? To close this file, we have got two options. The first option is to close the workbook. To close the workbook, what I can simply do, I can do Control W. The workbook is closed. But what if I want to close my Excel application? To do that, we have to press Alt plus F4 key in your workbook. Let's try to open this Excel workbook again. To do that, we have to press one more shortcut, Control plus O. Let's open this file again and we have got our file. So these were the key shortcuts which you need in your day-to-day life and to navigate through Excel like a power user. Hope you like this video. We are going to cover many more interesting Excel topics in the upcoming videos. Do give this video a thumbs up. Do subscribe to my channel and hope you are liking our content. Thank you so much.